Hello, if you are watching this does not mean the purge. If you are watching this during a government shutdown, this does not mean a purge. Okay? You gotta understand that. I'll repeat again, it is not a purge. Alright? It is not a free-for-all run. Okay? This does not mean that everybody can just do whatever the fuck they want. Okay, it's still goddamn illegal. Alright? I wanted to get that clear before I talk about this, because I know some of you stupid people, not stupid people, but because even stupid people know that, yeah, they probably shouldn't be doing illegal stuff. But the midwits, though, the people who think they're smarter than everybody, when in reality they're just average, this must mean the purge. This must mean I can do whatever I want. And no, this is not only during the current presidency that this has happened. Okay? The most famous one was in the 90s when it lasted for about 3 years. You know? Because of whatever. But it wasn't like a lockdown. It was just kind of a weird, confusing thing of its time, but for completely different reasons. But given my country at its current state, and I'm saying this in 2025 AD, if you want to be specific, my country is extremely divided. And basically, a shutdown rule or the shutdown law that they're having is basically just a law that they have to say, hey, you two are too divided on our basic issues, so till then, we're gonna do a special government lockdown for just in case, till you two can at least come to basic agreement. You don't have to agree on everything, just agree on the basics. So until then, we're in lockdown, and if you don't get this problem solved, well, you're gonna have a harder and harder problem for when you do decide, oh yeah, well, let's unite now, when in reality, our entire country is going to shit because, we didn't unite earlier in this scenario. Basically, it's you kind of have to, quickly. It isn't like in the 90s or I think 2000s where they would take years and years or whatever. The 80s, the 90s or whatever. It's more like months. The days are months or weeks or whatever. Very, very, very rarely is it years. But yeah, do not think that this is the purge. Okay? We don't want you to be doing that. Alright? This does not mean the fucking purge. Okay? I remember 2019. I remember 2016. A lot of crime was going on because people thought that government shutdown was an excuse for them to do crime. I'm not even kidding you. There were a lot of people who were either people who were very uninformed about this, or people who are not from this country, because that would make a lot more sense. If you're not from this country, you probably wouldn't even know at all. So, that makes more sense. That's more obvious. But then you might go, how could they be misinformed? Don't they live in the United States? Yeah, they could. They could be a born and raised citizen that's, assimilated into their local culture or whatever for their whole lives. But the thing is they see that and they go, does that mean I can steal now? Or does that, because they're not thinking, oh, maybe I should look this up. They're thinking, I hear this, therefore, this must be true. So, because there are a lot of people who are either gullible or doesn't really take an actual thought into this, and this is more midwit people. Stupid people are like, I don't know nothing, so I gotta look more into this. smart people are like, I don't know nothing, so I gotta look more into this. Midwit people, on the other hand, they're like, oh no, we don't look into this. I saw this, so that must mean I can do murder to like people or something. Can I eat a cookie from my eat a cookie on a disabled dying person? Can I get the unhoused? And they really should just be saying homeless, because unhoused makes them sound like they're saying politically homeless, you know? Like, it doesn't sound like people who are actually homeless. So they're probably just saying it so that way they can do bad things, make it sound good. But that's a whole nother discussion. Well, anyway, yeah, don't take this government shutdown, and if you don't know what the purge is, if you keep asking yourself throughout this video, what the fuck does he mean by the purge? Well, the Purge is a movie franchise, or is a situation where they had like 24 hours where anything and everything is illegal, so you can basically just do whatever you want, you know, for a certain amount of time. And so you get to see like a lot of people that are normally just like really, really nice become like the worst criminal to ever exist. And then at like the end of the movie, it's over, so it's like there's just like a bunch of dead people, there's like a bunch of evil people, there's like a bunch of people getting arrested because they still think the purge is going on. So it's just like a legal way to arrest all the criminals anyway, you know? Some weird shit, you know? Like grand larceny, for example. Grand larceny is a big crime. You probably don't hear that word a lot. You know, it's related to GTA, not GTA the video game. I'm talking about Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. And then stealing directly, and then other things like robbing a bank or killing people, or some things that really shouldn't just be illegal. And then, I don't know. But in this current society, because they're so politically charged, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Dude, I tell you right now, dude, this is gonna take quite a while. Quite the fucking while. Okay? And, yeah, I just wanted to make a video on it, so that way, if there is another government shutdown later on throughout the years in the U.S. or whatever, I don't know about your country, but in the U.S. in general, don't take this as the purge. Okay? Anyway, that's all I got for today. And basically, certain industries will be closed down, and it mostly has to do with healthcare and food. So the longer they wait on this, the worse it's gonna get. Like, the noticeably worse. Like, it is kind of been worse for a while. It's been slowly improving. But ever since the shutdown, it's gonna get extremely bad if after a certain amount of days, you know. It's gonna start off as a little noticeable, and then it's just gonna go, especially after a long period of time, you know. Things like that. And that's why if you look at the early 1990s or whatever, there was so much crime, because back in those days, people thought the government shutdown was what I've been saying, like the purge or whatever. If that was a thing back then, I don't know. But because of it, they were doing crazy stuff. Things like that. But anyway, yeah, like I've been saying throughout this video, and I think you pretty much get the idea, This is not the Purge. Anyway, have a nice day, and just remember, stay ugly.